Okay. At least we have an archive. So after we install, we have this OBS screen. It doesn't actually. How do I make my screen? Make it bigger. Arrangement, period, scale. I want it to be smaller. Okay. So it will be bigger. So because just now it was running at 1080, so it became really small. Everything became really small. So
this makes sense.
It doesn't make sense.
Okay.
It's for this. So this is something that you need to net the presenter as well. Because a lot of time when they prepare the slide, it looks very nice on the screen. Or when they do screen sharing, it looks nice on the screen. But when it's displayed on the large screen or onto the screen, it gets really hard to read.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah. So normally it starts with like screen one.
So now you're doing for the slides, huh?
Yep. This is the basic for everything.
Okay.
So we ignore the setting first. We just add our sources. So I just have this. Let's hope it works. So there's only 3 things that you need to plug in. The one first thing, the most important one, is the webcam. So from here, webcam, you call it a video capture device. I'm gonna rename it so it's easy for me to reference. So it's gonna call webcam. I'm gonna choose this. Okay. So yep, it's gonna come out. Yeah, it's come out. So this is 34 bigger, but depending on your layout. Oh, the show cam. Yeah. Okay. Oops. I cannot show myself. So can So here, by default, it doesn't capture anything. You see, the mixer is I actually disabled all of them. So if you want to capture, scene is where all your settings is. So this is where you put your sources. If I want the audio from the webcam, I'm going to add this is called webcam, audio, webcam. Depends on how you want it to be sorted. So then I can choose the webcam as the audio source.
How webcam got audio source?
Yes, there's a mic.
Oh, this one.
Yeah, see? I'm capturing. So normally you can there's also like this. If you press this, it will be muted.
Is this recording? No.
It's recording. It's not recording at all. So right now we're just setting up. It's not started yet. So I want to go through like mainly the fundamentals for camera. So properties, to choose which device, always the same, which device. Built-in microphone means that if this is not laptop.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah, so the name of this will appear.
Yeah. So if I enable this, it will be this. And one good tips, I'm not sure if you remember, that's why it recorded. So I always add a filter, very simple filter.
It's unsettled.
It's under, I'm gonna repeat it. It's here. When you click, filters. Unfortunately, it's the screen doesn't work. Okay, yeah. For audio, so I always add this in. I put it called compressor. No, not compressor. Noise suppression. So what noise suppression does is it will remove the background noises. So it will make the recording clearer. So normally every time whenever I add a device, regardless of the wireless mic or anything, I'll set it up and drag it to the bottom. It will still work, you see, it will still work, but you can notice that you can see you can see the bar now. It's quieter. So let me disable that. Disabling is the same as well. So I just this, and you see there's some ambient noises.
The green one you're looking at what?
You see, if you are not speaking, there will be activity. These are the ambient noises. So this is a no-brainer that will reduce your ambient by a lot.
Okay.
See, let's see less than
Yeah,
so,
we thought
and,
reduce less noise. Right?
And you see, if you notice, there are three colors: green, yellow, and red. Do not ever let your volume go to red. So a bit of yellow is fine, but what happens if it goes to red is that you get what we call overblown recording. Overblown is you become like overexposure.
The sound like crack.
Yeah. So like similar to photo, if you take a overexposed picture, it cannot be repaired. Yeah. So it's fine if it's a bit lower, you can still repair it. But if it's go to red, sometimes that's why sometimes like if you notice when I record, I actually monitor it. So let's go to the next step. I'm gonna plug this in because I don't have. Just plug this in to make sure it doesn't output. So I'm gonna plug in my monitoring. Make sure I always plug it in. And this is where let's go to advanced audio properties. And if you notice, some devices like this webcam actually has two channels. So if you see like the two channels are different, right? It means it's a stereo. So if you want it to be the same, you click it to be mono. Mono is actually better for presentation.
What?
And this one is mono as well. So we need to downmix it to mono because because we are not doing those what call it ASMR or something. Yeah. And for a stereo, especially in a crowded environment, it would be really weird. Yeah. So it's actually make it flatter, and the side effects actually much better for presentation. So downmix to mono, especially this device is mono. So a lot of the mics are mono.
So it doesn't matter, right?
This one is fine because it has two channels. But if I plug this in, let's plug this in.
So this one is stereo.
No, this mono. Mics are usually mono, and you can see the difference. You can see the difference. So let's change our audio. Sometimes if I this lazy, I'll change it, but I'll audio input capture. I'll call it the wireless audio wireless, so it can be easily sorted. So sensor go mic. Yeah. So now you can hear me. Oh, this two channel as well. Okay, this is two channel. But some certain mics they give you one channel. So the problem with one channel is it's fine normally on the screen, but if you listen to it on this, you only one ear has the sound. So to avoid this kind of issues, we just no brainer, just make it into mono to avoid the issues.
Okay.
And this another part is the monitoring. Why do we the earphone that I give you is a bit rusty, so you use it. Bring one of your own.
Oh.
It's a bit broken. So always use one of. This is one of the one that I spray here. So to monitor, right now let's go back to the webcam or the webcam. We're gonna it works per device. You notice there is audio monitoring. So monitor off means that you are not monitoring. What it means by do monitor outputs. Normally we do monitor outputs. What it does is that it will output to your whatever output device. In this case, this is I'm outputting it to my headphone, and I can listen to what I say. Hello. 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 Okay.
You're using visual now, this one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You want to try? I'll let you try it first. So, yeah. Hello.
Hello. Okay.
So you can listen to what the device actually captured. Try it.
Okay.
So to make sure that also as a precaution, so that if that is fine, it means it will fine.
Can I try the off the filter thing?
Oh, off the filter. Okay.
Yes. So I can listen to the background or something. Now it's off.
Yeah.
Turn it on. Yeah, it's very big different.
Sorry.
Yeah. That's very useful.
Filter on, filter off.
Yes.
Off.
No, off.
And let me turn it on.
Yeah, big difference.
So yeah, it's a no-brainer. Just it's free. Just use it.
Okay.
So and right now the just adjust a bit. Normally, especially if they wear this, they are especially people that are not used to speaking in front of camera, or I don't know, or people are not used to speaking. They have a very wide vocal range. So they have and they're excited. They'll be really loud.
Okay.
So. So be careful about it. So you might need to tweak it from time to time. So, and that's about it for this webcam. You can also, if you notice, the I don't know what you call it, the eye, you disable that. If you put it away, it will disable that. So yeah. And if this is a lock, so you won't accidentally put it away. So now let's add in the capture card. So we assume that I'll cover this afterwards, which I'll focus on. Now let's plug in the capture card. That could work. The hardware setup is, I think you're familiar with it, right? Just the software is, I just need to cover, like, in case, so some of the cases. Well,
I tried that on a TV box. It's working.
Okay. Yeah, if it's you can practice this. Okay. I got a balloon. Hang. Okay.
Sometimes.
So precaution is try to, before you started OBS, try to have everything plugged in. Okay, let's add this is the capture card is considered audio capture device. So let's give it a name called capture card, or call it screen capture. Choose one. This one is called accuracy. So resolution. So you can move it around. So you have the screen now. So assuming this is the slide. So now we can do our layout. So if you press shift, just like you're familiar with Photoshop and something, you press shift, you'll be following the ratio.
What if you forgot and then you fix it?
Oh, I actually did this way. I don't know what is the proper way. I make it fit to screen and do it. So normally we have something like this. Because Lydia actually found it to be more superior to have normally we have a padding, so normally I do it this way. So we normally keep some space for whatever content or title we have.
So this is the screen,
This is screen.
and this is the presenter.
Yeah. So because we name it nicely, you see it follows the priority line, just like the screen. So if I put it up, up. So normally we have this, and let's download. If you're into background, let's download.
So you just put a logo.
Yeah.
Or just put a picture, wallpaper, something like that.
I normally go to Unsplash because their pictures are free to use. Basically, permissive. So let's get some background, nature. Okay. Find anyone that fits. This cloud looks nice. So. So let's download one quick logo.
You're using Starfish.
I'm not that paranoid. If I'm really paranoid, I'll be using that logo. But
using Thor.
I tried a few, but I still like the Google's results. Let's simply get one of this. Let's see. So the background, I'm gonna put it can be called image. Unless you like slideshow, I'm gonna call it background image. To be verbose is good. Being verbose is good.
Wait, slideshow you just change by itself.
Yeah.
You'll be watching it as a genius, is it?
Yep.
Okay.
So unsplash. So put it back. Let's fit to screen first. Yeah, some background. Choose your own background, and also a logo, also image. This is called a logo. See, the ratio is off. Well, however you can put it, I can put it here. It's not the best one. You guys decide how it should look like. Lilia actually has a very opinionated one. I think Lilia is gonna come up with the space. So okay. So and I can put text. Text. I'm gonna call it let's say title. I'm gonna call it recording demo. Just give it something. You can choose the font and the size. So this can be the title of the speaker. So I can make it bigger. So I can have more text. Another one is the event title. Event title. So I call it just a demo event title. So somewhere down here, however you prefer it. I'm not the design person, so I think this looks pretty nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what about this? Because this is from the previous one, I just call it the main screen. Okay. This is where normally we stop at, but normally we have two extra screens. We're gonna add another screen called cam on. Gonna be really robust, so there's no chance of confusion. If you notice, if I move to here, everything will be gone. So I have to re-add the devices, but that's why we have to name the stuff properly. I'm gonna add video capture device. This is camera only, so I only want the cam. So it's actually advisable because just USB devices, even though they can, but they don't like having different connection. So if you create a new device and you set up it have a new connection, and sometimes it doesn't like it. Most of the time it doesn't like it. So
you need to add existing.
We use the existing one.
Right.
So this one I make sure is the screen. So yeah, I hope you like to look at yourself. So I can re-add everything myself as well. So that when I, let's say even the image, even the logo, whenever I change the logo, it will follow.
Okay.
So let's say here. If you're particular, you can use this too. Sometimes I do this like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, to make sure both of them syncs.
So let's say, for example, sometimes the speaker want to show something, so you can change to the cam and focus it.
Yeah, or like or Q&A, you don't need that anymore. So, but if notice the audio is gone, be really careful. You have to add the audio as well. So whichever that you want, I actually normally add all of them in. So remember to add them back, but make sure you rename them nicely so you don't get confused. So yeah, this is the dedicated speaker screen. I can have another screen called, I can have even the title text. I can reuse them. Reusing is good. So can I have let's say here a different layout. Title. So yeah, something like this. I can lock this so that I don't accidentally move it. So if you're satisfied, lock everything. So you won't accidentally, when you try to switch screen and stuff, it won't move it accidentally. So I can have a screen only as well. I can cover all. So input. I normally put the input first, because if you try to have this set up beforehand, because if you set up a new screen, right, when you switch to it, right, you lose the audio. So I have this screen capture. Actually, it's just the same as that one, but do it again. This makes perfect. So I have a different layout. Let me put it.
Can you button up the things, is it?
Okay. Okay. Give off.
You can just copy paste.
You can copy paste. You can actually copy paste. I'm just showing you how to do it the hard way.
Okay.
Because a lot of situation is you don't reuse really like that.
Okay.
You have a really different layout for also the case.
Okay.
So in this case, it's like.
No, I mean, can I just, like the screencast, I just duplicate it and then I just change it? Rather than go and start and input everything.
You can actually.
The duplicate. What is duplicate?
Duplicate. One more copy. Duplicate.
Yeah. So isn't that easier? Then I just delete what I want.
Yeah, duplicate. It's correct. It's actually correct. But doing the hard way is good. Good for you.
No, I mean, I've already done it the first one. Then I don't have to. Because I scared I'll forget something.
Good point. Better if you do it duplicate to be safer, because or else you forget to put this and they'll lose some. Good point. Yeah. And if you notice, the transition animation is actually decided by this. So this one cut, fade. So normally cut. No point with.
That fade looks more much.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And you transition just fine.
Okay.
Yeah, duplicate.
Which one is the capture of the screen?
Capture of the screen. Screen.
Okay.
Screen only. This is not supposed to be screencast. But I don't know what sort of bug it has. I can rename it screen. or main screen. Can't remember. It's a bug. So you can do transition. But remember to do transition because a lot of time that I set cam only, when the speaker started, I forgot to switch. Don't do this.
Don't do what, sorry?
So like this one is focusing on the webcam, right?
Yeah.
So but we want to capture is also the slide, right?
Yeah.
So sometimes I actually forget to
switch back. Okay.
Yeah. So be really careful.
Okay.
Safest is this one.
No,
So
people want to see them.
so like this.
Okay.
Okay. This is the basically what on the front end.
Okay.
And there's also a studio mode. Yeah, try to guess what it is. Studio mode is actually very professional.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. So let's say I want to edit something, right? I don't want to let people see that I'm doing this, right?
Okay.
So studio mode is actually two screen. This is what is going on program.
Yeah.
So I can do this. See? And transition.
Wow.
Very professional, right?
For people who need to fix their mistakes.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is very good when
But
you are recording it, right?
Yeah, but don't put it all the time because let's see my frame rate is actually dropping. It doesn't like studio unless you have somehow Mac. It's terrible. Unless you have a new Mac like India's Mac, then Windows is always the best.
Okay.
Yeah, Windows is actually the in terms of performance is actually always better. Because if you notice, I am recording at 30 frames per second. So don't bother with 60. 60 because we are not streaming stuff that move really fast. We are not streaming like extreme sport or people playing shooting games and stuff. Because most of the time TV is 24, so 30 is actually fine. Yeah. Don't bother with extra. Because they don't get to see all sort of the slide is not moving like intensely. So if you notice, it drop. I think it drop. Is it drop?
Oh, okay.
Because this laptop is not considered not powerful enough. So better if you have another computer. Yeah.
Power.
Yeah. So you need
like a i7 processor, much more better.
Newer one. Yeah.
Yeah.
RAM is not so important. So
Processor.
Processor. Also I'm going to go through the setting. There's nothing on general. If you messed up, you can. There's a reset button. I don't know why I can't.
What? Mess up what?
Mess up the setting like
Everything. Oh, okay.
There's a reset. Just reset it. So stream is where we put our string keys. So by default, they actually supported most of the major platforms. So I'll cover how to get the string key afterwards, the workflow. So output, very important. So I think for Ken, you might be struggling because what you're looking for always is the hardware encoder. So on Windows, this there's a quick sync. Anything that starts with H, you come here. Quick sync is a hardware encoder. That's why I am streaming, you see, but the CPU usage is very low. And I'm going to show you what's the difference. Let me go to 264. I don't know why I can't. Let me change the resolution back. Doesn't like this resolution. What does it work? So one would better. Okay, this one works. Okay, I'm gonna choose X264, recording at 2500. This is the bit rate. So and I record. You see, it cannot sustain 30 FPS. The CPU usage is gonna be really high. The main thing is performance is horrible. And sometimes when you have more stuff going on, because right now the screen is static, So you see, it's lagging.
Yeah.
So if it's the presenter has a bit more content here, moving about, the performance is gonna be bad. You see, CPU is high, but the frame rate is bad. No, this is here just recording, just a test. This one is actually live, but I didn't publish it anyway. It's an archive, so everybody can refer to. So let's change to the software encoder. This actually will be much nicer, but still not the best. So you see, it's not dropping. It's actually not dropping to like teens. They're like tens, but it still cannot sustain like 30 FPS. 34 is actually pretty good, but 30 is. But you see, the CPU is actually much better, but this one is the best.
So what's the difference? Hardware.
Now you can see the difference. So let's change to hardware. So
What is it?
it's actually it's horrible. It's supposed to be much better.
Okay.
Yeah, and it should go up just fine.
No, it's performing worse.
It's actually much worse. Yeah.
Right. Is it because it's a Mac or something else?
It's the Mac. You need a better one. You need a better.
So this is i5, is it?
This is iPhone 2015. Somehow, I'm not sure what actually went wrong, but previously it was just fine.
No, it's not really.
Murphy slow.
Because nobody's moving. Is it?
Yeah. You need, yeah. But yeah,
Now it drops.
Yeah, it now drops. Yeah. So even though when you test like static, it's always just fine. Yeah. So you need a really powerful computer. That's why I don't bring this to record. I use this to record.
Oh,
and this is recording at a much higher bit rate. And also, let's do this. Let's do a speed test. Yeah, definitely. Because this one is newer, and we have the Intel API. This one is because Apple is they abstracted the hardware encoding, so it's unfortunate. So always do a speed test, so you know how much you can go. So for 1080, normally we record at 1080. It is 2500 is like the bare minimum. Try to at least 3000 to 3500. I actually in like say in a controlled environment like office, I actually stream at 45 to 50. So the quality is much better, but you tweak as much as minimum 35, but better most of the time it is 30 to 35. 35 is like at least if you can try to use this.
Okay.
But I usually use 40 on that. You tweak
Okay.
That's why you have to go there and test. And the good thing is also this. What does it mean? Keyframe interval for YouTube it matters. YouTube requires that you put like 2 keyframes. And profile means that the priority of your program. So just now my profile is none, so that the system actually doesn't know whether I should give priority. So, but try to make it high as well, because high means that if it's struggling, you queue off other programs first. So try to make it at least main. So main, let's see whether it.
So you're bringing a profile to now?
That's
to OBS or to the
this is the
screen?
The profile is actually the program profile for the operating system.
For OBS.
For OBS.
Okay.
So that the operating system knows that this is running at good enough kind of priority. So let's see whether it improves.
Do you think use keyframe?
Yeah, pre-frame. YouTube requires pre-frame.
Okay.
So apparently when I put main, the performance increased a bit. Yeah. So this is actually required by YouTube. So we can YouTube stream encoding. So situation like this is sometimes it might be fine for the people, like on the TV is fine, right? Or during presenting is fine, but this for the screens, for the sake of screen able to see it, I normally advise presenter to make it bigger. So it will be comfortable for people that is listening to talk, and also for people that looking at the screen. Yeah. So for this, we actually live stream. Okay, so there is a software encoder. Where they change the page to? I did that change. Okay, here. There is supposed to be a setting. But just use mine. Basically, it's a summary. 2 keyframe, for YouTube. So and one thing about recording, we normally delegate a setting to follow this, to use the stream encoder. This is very important to use the stream encoder because if I press stream and record at the same time, it doesn't consume extra CPU. So it means that because network reliability is not something of our control, right? Yeah. So let's say the network cannot sustain it, at least we have the recording we can upload. And it doesn't consume extra CPU. And it's actually fine when it happens like there's a green dot here. This is the status of the network because I did set up the key here properly, so I can show you here. Is that it's healthy. So if it's not healthy, you can actually press stop and start the stream again. But don't touch the recording. Recording is the highest priority. Because let's say your stream fails, at least let's say the top is 30 minutes, at least after 30 minutes you can re-upload it and they get the good quality ones. That's always the fallback. Murphy law, things that can happen, they will happen. But by default it is set to stream encoder, but try to make sure it is the same. Sometimes depends on whether you tried it before.
You have changed it.
Yeah, you can change it. Don't touch the recording format as well. FLV is fine. We can convert the format for editing afterwards.
Oh, is it the fastest recording?
No, it's actually the format that the streaming uses. So we can actually yeah. So audio, nothing much on output anymore. So audio, make sure you always set it to 48 kilohertz. Even YouTube and sometimes Facebook, they'll tell you to use 44.1, but don't listen to them. Use 48. Yeah, 48 means that because if you use 44.1, sometimes the software cannot sync properly. Okay. The worst thing is not that it's desync, like let's say I'm 500 milliseconds behind. That is fine. I can fix it afterwards. But the desync that caused by different sampling rate is that the desync is gradual. Is what we call exponential. So for the first 15 seconds, it might be just fine. Then at the 30 minutes mark, it will be desync at 200 milliseconds. At 1 hour mark, it will desync at 500 milliseconds. So it will be really painful to fix because it's not constant. So just set 48, no problem.
The channels should be still stereo?
Stereo doesn't matter. Stereo.
Okay.
Yeah. For this, it doesn't matter. Devices, by default, I disable all my devices. So so that, or else it will show up by default. All your default devices will show up here. I disable all of them so that I know I only add the devices that I need. So I can say by default I can put it here, but I don't want. Depends on whether I prefer things to be under control. So
Akasis is the name of the brand, right?
Akasis is the name of this. Say Akasis. So the rest are just fine. Video, make sure that normally we stream or record at 1080p. Make sure the canvas is 1080p and the output is 1080p. So canvas is very important. If you're gonna output a 720, we are just downscaling the result. But the canvas will still remain to be 1080 if you need to. So this is, normally you don't touch this, 1080, 30 FPS. 60, you don't need 60.
So just like you said that you will change the screen capture to 720. To make it bigger.
No.
Slides.
Oh.
So, you know.
No, that one is unrelated. The slide, there should be, the tips is, let's say, it looks fine here, right?
Yeah.
But if you see in the small screen, it will be really small. So it's always advisable if we can communicate with the speaker beforehand, when they do demo and stuff, make sure like you...
We'll just ask them to make it.
So it will be comfortable for the people who see it, here or here. So here, let me show you a terminal. Let's say there's a...
They don't use PowerPoint or anything?
PowerPoint is fine. Normally, presentation is fine. Normally because presentation are normally fixed. So you don't put like a wall of text there, right? Then they'll be up to that. So let's say like this. Yeah. So if they can zoom, it might be better. So at least I can see what they are typing and stuff. I don't know what's going on here. So at Murphy Law, it's things that will happen. It will happen.
So you just tell the speaker about
be better like if they have they're gonna share certain like external resources, or they're gonna do live coding, live demo and stuff. Because live demo is the worst, because even if they're up the stage, it will be really hard for everyone to see. So they need to make it bigger. So nothing much here. That's why we have one recorded, so you can refer it afterwards. But nothing much to change. If you like hotkeys, you can just put the hotkeys. I'm a very firm believer of Murphy's Law. I believe that if I will accidentally press things that I shouldn't. So yeah, I disable everything. So I put that's about it for this. For the capture card, there is actually a caveat. The next preset. So 1080, 30. You can actually choose a resolution, and here it's actually 601 and full. So this is the setting that should be for the capture card. It will still work if you don't set it right, but you get better results. So, yeah, that's about it for OBS. Any question? I'll just share the slides.
You recorded this session?
Stream to YouTube. So, anybody watching? Hi. Okay. Somebody is watching. Okay, Chris is watching. Hello. But you can only see the screen. So this is the existing one. So I'm gonna turn this off. So I'm gonna create new events. Depending who is going to use which channel or whatever, Wendy and Lydia has the access to this. So always the same. I'll go back to YouTube first. And this is not my playlist because I don't use a brand account to watch video. So if they show up any weird stuff, okay, this is normal. Music is fine. Sometimes it's not normal. It's not my preference. So okay, they're gonna show you. They're gonna hard sell you the new UI. That's why I have to go from scratch. They're gonna hard sell you new UI. The new UI is horrible. Just go back to classic. If they want any reason, especially that, well, if you like to answer them. But I like to go to the classic one because this one is still beta and not finished yet. Live stream, I'm going to go to click the live stream part. Go to events. It's very troublesome, but you make sure that you stream to the right place. So there is an option here. You can always stream to the channel. There's a stream key that you can stream to the channel without doing anything. But basically, you have to do the updates, the title updates and stuff here. And every time you restart the stream, you create a new video. So we don't want to happen. We want to events is like a TV program. So if let's say you lose a signal, you are still broadcasting to the station. So I'm gonna make it bigger. New live event. So I'm gonna give it a name, like let's say code test event. So the rest you don't have to move much. Tag the description, you fill up as you like. Custom, create event. So let's wait for it to finish. So here, if you like to have your own custom thumbnail, you can put it there. And I prefer to use a single use stream key. It's a bit troublesome because for every event, like let's say every talk, you have to change the key or something like that. Okay. But the good thing is you make sure that it belongs to that. So there's no confusion of where it goes to where. But of course, if you stream a whole day event, if you plan to stream a whole day, then you can just stream a whole day. But you can have it streaming all the time, but the recording you can restart it. So you have another file for ease of editing and afterwards re-uploading. So you have a stream key. Don't bother with this. You only need to worry about this if it doesn't work because OBS normally have it already. So this is a stream key for this kind of session. That's why also it's safe to be shared here as well because it's only one use. So I'm going to put it here. I'm going to change the key. Just confirm it. Okay. So stream. I can start recording and you see that there is no extra CPU consumed. So let's go to live control room. Oh, this is very important because live control room, before you stream, we need to test the stream. So it depends on your setup. You can actually stream a whole day event. I think it's okay to stream a whole day event. Just restart the recording. Okay. Split the file. So here, you give you the preview. This is not live yet. And don't worry about being bad. Because as long as this is green, it means that it is sending data to the server.
So you start here first, then you test it, then you broadcast it.
Yeah. So you see, then when we receive the stream, then only you can press this. Okay. But I can test. Okay. I can test as long as I want.
But does it nothing appear?
Not yet.
So means you have to press the preview button, then
sometimes I need to refresh it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look, you placed the stream key, you started the stream, you went to YouTube, you went to live control.
Yeah, but live control. Right. So if I want to change the setting, I can go back to them anytime. So let's see. I'm actually streaming correctly. So this, I'm going to change it to you. So if you like enjoying, there will be some delay, it's normal. The difference between the preview and the live one is, this is probably what they see. This is the before what's the difference before it starts. Actually, after you start, it doesn't matter. So you can actually put in like messages and stuff. So now when we are confident, we're satisfied with everything, we start, and this will go live, and people can see it. And also on the live event link, this is the link to the video will be live.
But the link is not public, right?
It's public because we said it's public. Unless you want to, you change it back to private.
It's from that become good, isn't it?
It's YouTube is very weird because it's actually an average of the stats. So when you first started, you complain about that it's bad. It's average because average means beforehand the algorithm is very flawed. So, but sometimes it might be a cry wolf because sometimes it's really bad. So you have to look at the stream yourself. It's basically just very situational. So now it's good, but also remember, I'm gonna stop this. It won't stop yet. You just say it's just blank because we have to stop here as well, or else the live stream will be going on indefinitely until it finishes the stream. Go on indefinitely. So we have to stop it. Then the audience, everything will be notified. So we must stop this, or else if you forget about it and remember it a week later, actually the stream will be going on to the channel for a whole week.
Okay.
So,
when you stop it, and then you want to do it again, you start a new one again.
yeah, it doesn't. It means that you have to create a new event. So you cannot reuse it.
Right.
So depends on how you guys prefer to, but I prefer like whole day event. Let's just stream the whole day event. But the recording is split up, so afterwards we upload it.
So you leave this alone, but you just stop on your computer
for the recording. I just stop, so we create a new file. Stop and start. So yeah, because or else it will be very troublesome because the steps to start preview. Today it is nice because the preview steps sometimes might take forever. So if you're in the rush, especially because between speakers, between tracks, we normally don't have that much time, right? So might as well don't disrupt it. So nothing much. And after also is when you stop, tell people that stop. And the good thing about the control panel is when you scroll down, you get the chat. See, and sometimes it's really good one because it drops data just now. Data drop. This is drop frames mean that it drops data. So the chat is here as well. Everything is in one place, but try not to do it within the same computer. I don't know why, but it's pretty heavy. The browser is pretty heavy. It affects the frame rate. In certain computer that is just having just enough computing power to do this. So if I do everything together, the frame rate will be crazy for this. So that's about it for here. And one trivial that a lot of people they get confused that is when you stream, when you live stream, you can see the stream directly, right? But this is actually considered a different mechanism because streaming is that YouTube or all the streaming service, even Facebook, they handle it differently. So after you stop, YouTube, Facebook or Twitch, they'll process it differently. So while they're processing, you probably, let's say it's a 30 minutes track, but as they process, you get to see whatever that it is, whatever that it can achieve. Like, let's say 5 minutes, then the video will be 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So if you want, if people want immediate good quality video afterwards, it might be easier to just send them a file. For certain events, they like, especially when in collaboration with certain people, they want the video fast enough. So because Google need to process it, and while they're processing, it won't be at the full length, it won't be at the highest resolution. So it depends up to how long the video is. Sometimes it can the processing might be around half an hour to 2 hours. So if they're really in certain situation where we're collaborating with this sponsor and stuff, they want the video, might as well just send them the file.
You mean the OBS file?
Yeah, OBS file.
But right now OBS is a backup, right?
OBS, the recording is the backup.
Okay.
So the stream is actually a bonus service so that people can see it live.
Okay, so the stream on YouTube,
Yeah.
you mean it's not ready to be watched immediately afterwards?
Yeah, but it can be watched during
Live, but not afterwards.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's really weird because it's
Yeah, and
really
then you upload it.
yeah.
Okay, I get it.
Yeah. So it takes time to, and also if you stream one big event, let's say a whole day, if you plan to like just the whole track, for one track you just stream from start to end, like 9 to 5, you're gonna be one big file. So but that's why we upload them afterwards. So at least start and stop, you don't have to cut your video. You know that when we meant to start and stop like that.
So the best thing is for the presenter to have a HDMI output, right?
Yeah.
Because I remember that they asked you to use Google
Chromecast. Chromecast is actually the best because you don't have to plug and unplug
from your laptop.
from the laptop. Yeah, because everybody just need to stream to the Chromecast.
Okay. If they have that, if they don't have it.
Use mirroring, right? That is more easy.
Yeah, but the usability of Chromecast is a bit confusing because to share the screen, you see, also to I'll do a bit of Chromecast tutorial. Familiar with Chromecast?
Yeah.
Familiar with Chromecast?
Okay, I don't think it.
No, it's for support. For the whole set of support. Let's say Hacker News, because I don't open anything private. So, okay, nothing's private show up.
Oh, I thought you were using private mode. It's good now.
Yeah. It's a team. See, it affects the computer performance.
Oh.
So that's it.
No, I remember that day you asked them to call Hangouts.
Oh, that is when all things fail.
So that was very, very low quality, right?
Not necessarily low, but that is not desirable. Because that day on the one where we did it in work, right?
Yeah.
Because the speaker Ivan, he doesn't have, his computer only outputs VGA. So we don't want to dilly-dally with the existing setup. So the easiest one is they dial into a service. So this Chromecast is actually a very funny feature because meeting room, you see, when I cast it by default, it only casts the tabs. So if I switch to another tab, I want to show something off, it doesn't show anything. See? And the UI is actually very funny because to change to desktop, you need to change, and it doesn't change immediately. For a company that is with a lot of design and stuff, the ergonomic is terrible. So what you need to do, like let's say I go back to casting tabs. Cast the tabs. So cast the tabs. If I want to change it to casting the desktop, I need to stop and start again. And you see there will be the screen share options. Then I can see everything.
Then might as well just do desktop, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, but desktop actually has much worse performance. It's laggier, unless they need to do like screens, like code examples or whatever live demo, then they need to. Nifty. Somebody. Yeah, done. Yes.
Now can you just have to